how would you compare the students long back in the 90s with today?
I think in 1990s it was like a domination of the industrial sector. Most of the students at the time take admissions to the core branches, particularly mechanical, civil, electrical.
What is the difference between autonomy and colleges being affiliated with universities? Does autonomy actually adapt the recent trends?
Autonomy gives the flexibility. It's a word itself is an autonomy to the academics. In the university structure, probably after every 4 years or 5 years, the syllabus gets updated. While in autonomy, the syllabus can be updated within 6 months also.
According to you, are internships necessary?
When the students are been given the practical exposure, probably it has restricted to their course curriculum.
There are so many graduates, so many engineers out there, but the unemployability ratio has drastically risen up in the recent decade. Why do you think this is happening? If you get major freedom from AICT and UGC members or the organizations, what are the revisionary reforms personally you would like to implement? Namaste, namaskar, and a happy hello. Welcome to the second episode of Fortune Clouds Mic'd Up With. From the era of chalk and duster to the AI driven classes, smart classes, he has witnessed, shaped the engineering education system. With MS and ME in electronics and telecommunication, and over 3 decades of leadership, it is not just an experience, it is about leaving an impact. Today, we are honored to sit down with the honorable guest, Professor R.G.Kaduskar sir. He is none other than the director of Pune Vidyarthi Gruha and PVG College of Engineering and Technology. To mark our respect for him, we would like to offer him a momentum.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir,
Good morning. Good morning.
and a warm welcome to our podcast channel.
Yes,
Fortune
thank you.
Clouds mic'd up with not a techie, but the 30 years old expertise and growing expertise matching with our today's generation, none other than Professor Kaduskar, sir. Yes,
Namaste.
namaste. Uh, Now, as we are talking about your expertise, the very first question that comes to my mind is how would you compare the students long back in the 90s with today? Are we really progressing fast enough?
Actually, if we just see the uh, changeover from 1990s to up to this 2025, I think in 1990s it was like a domination of the industrial sector. It's like a manufacturing, and most of the students at the time used to prefer take admissions to the core branches, particularly mechanical, civil, electrical, to certain extent electronics, and probably the construction. But even there are other branches also where there is a possibility of industry or the workforce required maybe in petroleum, polymer, or maybe in printing. So in 1990s, the admissions were driven by the industry or the manufacturing sector, because of which the student used to take admissions in those core branches.
Right.
But later on, I think in 1991, when the economic reforms took place and the globalization has been there in 1991, then I think the economy has opened the doors to the globalization and the modernization and the technology. So suddenly there is a change in the job sector from IT, finance, commerce, and other healthcare sector. So the students started taking admissions to the service sector point of view. So suddenly there is a demand for computer and IT branches. So students used to start taking admissions to that, and it happens up to 2015. Even it is continued. But again in 2015, there is a revolution in the technology. The technology advancement took place, and now the students are preferring artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, all those new technologies. So
Right.
it's like it's a workforce requirement, it's a market driven requirement. Maybe I will say initially, maybe from 1990 to 2010 or maybe 15, it was a faculty driven, even the approach.
Correct.
What faculty used to say, the student used to follow.
Right.
But now, after 2015, it's the reverse thing happens. What students demand has to be provided to them by the institute. And this is a big change from one sector of job to another. And the faculty driven is from the student driven. So it's now the time to have the fusion between the two. What student demands and what faculty best can give. And that's the the trend I am seeing in the admissions from 1990s to 2025.
So, do you say that students used to listen then in the 90s to the mentors, to the guide, to the teacher, and now it's been a little bit difficult?
No, absolutely. It's at that time they used to listen because the professors at that time have the very different way of teaching technologies, methodologies, and students used to listen to them, have the notes, interact with them, and knowing the problems of industry, and then working on that. But now, as the students are exposed to the social media, the latest 10 technologies, advancement in artificial intelligence, data science, they know more social media, connect, and because of that, they are aware of the new technologies and challenges.
Right.
So now they expect the faculty should suffice their challenges, they should support to their needs. And because of that, I think it's that way. But even if the professor who is going to change and teach them the new technology trend, what they expect and the way in which they expect, then I think that professor's the suggestions or his teaching will be definitely preferred by the students. It's not like student has changed a lot. If they feel the professor is updated, professor is having a knowledge in that, and he is having certain good practices, good initiatives, and he is going to give the latest in technology knowledge to the students, I think students are ready to sit and listen to him.
So, the current faculty members from any institution, should they go ahead with the upgrade themselves with the updated trends,
Yes, actually,
certify themselves in
Ye-
various
yes, because
technologies?
it's like if at all the faculties, those who have been teaching in 1990s, after 30 years or 35 years, if they say that I will not change my subject, he won't be now continued because uh, there are a lot many changes have happened, and if at all that faculty is not ready to change his subject or change his mindset, I think it will be a problem. But those faculties, those who are ready to accept the new changes, accept the new challenges, ready to learn some new technologies, subjects, update themselves. It's like always there is a point of upskilling and reskilling. So it's necessary even for the student and even the faculty. And if the faculty is updated, then naturally it will be benefit to the students.
Right.
And it's a time that a faculty should see how he can best possibly accommodate the latest in technology in his subject which he is teaching for a long time.
Correct.
Or maybe he has to switch to the new subject which he finds him comfortable to teach, or maybe he can give his best outcome in that particular subject.
Perfect, perfect. So we come to know that PVG College of Engineering and Technology has become autonomous. Not only our college, but there are many other colleges,
Yes.
renowned colleges, turning out to become autonomous. So what is the difference between autonomy and colleges being affiliated with universities? Does autonomy actually adapt the recent trends?
Yes, actually, autonomy gives the flexibility. It's a word itself is an autonomy to the academics, and it's very important because the every technology is getting evolved, get it advanced, and the student must be updated to that, and student expect that they should have this technology to be taught to them, and if at all that is possible, it is possible in autonomy, because in autonomy there is a flexibility that if at all particular subject demand is there in the market, if there are certain resources available in the market, certain organizations are doing well in that market, then probably through them those technologies can be delivered to the student. But at present in the university structure, probably after every 4 years or 5 years the syllabus gets updated, While in autonomy, the syllabus can be updated within 6 months also.
Right.
If at all it is noticed that some new challenge is there, new subject, new technology is there within next 6 months, then
Yes.
probably knowing the resource, knowing the organization doing well in that particular technology, if the collaborative efforts been taken by the institute, I think that technology will be made available to the students,
Right.
and it will definitely cater the need of the industry within next 6 months if they expect. And that's the way the autonomy supports. So autonomy gives a flexibility of academics.
Mhm.
Even you can have the assessment on your own, but again that assessment should be tough. It should not be like though you are being autonomous, so it should be quality should not be compromised. But at the same time, it will give the more internship freedom to the students. If they want to learn something in some company, then college can send them to that company, because nowadays company expect they should be there in the 3 months or 6 months.
Curriculum.
But in the SPPU, if we have that particular curriculum, then probably attendance is a big issue,
Right.
because of which the students cannot be sent to the companies for 3 months and 6 months. And autonomy gives that flexibility. So it gives the flexibility of subjects, it gives the flexibility of academics, it gives the flexibility to the student for the internship and the projects. So I think that's the biggest advantage. And yes, it's a great good initiative that the institute should go to autonomy.
Okay. So now, when you tell me about internships, these are made mandatory in various curriculums nowadays. Are the industry involvement kind of internships really being executed in practical, or it is still on paper, just a paperwork?
Few of the things are still on paper, but I think a majority of the industry has now realized that there are certain projects, there are certain areas they want manpower, and probably maybe the salary or the wages is another issue. Though they can hire students as an interns, and they can get that project prototype developed from them. So
Mhm.
I think uh, industry has now realized it, but still at certain point it's on just paper. It's like students are going for interns, but actually they are not exposed to the actual that project or the field. They have been given some allied work around it, and maybe that's it for them. But even going to the industry, knowing the work culture of the industry is also a big thing for a student, because ultimately after the graduation or after his course completion he is going to industry. So before going to the industry, if he knows what the industry norms are, what are the methodologies or the things adopted in industry, he will learn in those small things. But still, as you said, it's most of the industries are now realized, and they are giving quite a good projects and interns to the students. And uh, I'm sure maybe within next 2 3 years it will geared up like anything, and uh, industry demands more students, and there is a possibility that college is not in a position to provide that much manpower for the internship. It's a vice versa will happen. At present, it's like the institute has to search for the internship, good organizations,
Right.
but now maybe 2 3 years it will change.
So industries would come down to the
Come down, yeah, yeah, yeah.
institutions for better, good students.
Absolute, absolute.
According to you, are internships necessary?
Actually, what happens is it's like when the students are been given the practical exposure, probably it has restricted to their course curriculum.
Mm.
But provided industry gives you more focused on that particular subject, maybe more practical orientation, because in a practical it is like a stereotype or definitions of the practicals to perform. It's like aim, objective, and how you perform it, and what's the result, and then the tabulation and all the conclusions. But in industry, to get a project, how to plan a project, what are the specifications, how to meet those specifications, how to make the things together, how the small part of that particular project to be designed, how it is to be tested, and how it is to be brought to the finished product.
Right.
I think it's all it's a learning, and which may not be in a practical. So when they have been an intern, and if it is really an intern on a project, I think all those aspects of learning to that particular subjects will definitely help the student.
Right, right, obviously. Now, when we talk about autonomy, we talk about the industry involvement, we talk about internships, we talk about the faculty upgradation. Was the traditional methods given by organizations like AICTE or UGC mm, to some limitations? Do we need to revise it for the upgradations again?
At certain point, yes, we have to look back. Actually, what happens is maybe because of the autonomy, maybe the national education policies deployment, probably we have to rethink how we can have the core to again to be brought into this particular curriculum. Because what happens is when we are having an NEP compliant syllabus, there are lot many other interdisciplinary subjects being taught into the curriculum or brought into the curriculum. So with the core branches, other allied, other multidisciplinary subjects being introduced and the skills being enhanced, but provided there is a chance of maybe having a lack of again the knowledge of core. So if at all students is been a particular branch of engineering, and because of the other aspects to be taught along with that engineering, there is a possibility that the core subjects may be cut. And if that core is being lost at somewhere else, I think it is to be rethink. uh, NEP compliant syllabus is fantastic way because it definitely provides a personal development, interpersonal development, even societal development, overall development of the student. But provided the core must be protected. In all this development, if the core is getting somewhat been reduced, then I think maybe industry again rethink that whether they are been with the skill, they are losing the core. So it's again rethinking of the core, and maybe in what way it is to be again brought in is to be the matter.
If you get freedom, major freedom from AICT and UGC members or the organizations, what are the revisionary reforms personally you would like to implement?
Actually, it is to be like when we are having different disciplines of engineering, then probably what should be the prerequisite for that
Mhm.
particular branch needs. Actually, those prerequisites should be properly focused into the curriculum. That means maybe if at all, if I take an example of electronics, I think biomedical or biomedical electronics is one of the branch where there is a need of biology.
Right.
But in a normal engineering stream, like the physics, chemistry, mathematics is the requirement. But then if at all a student who is to pursue the biomedical electronics, or maybe an electronic student to be prepared for this biomedical engineering, which is a healthcare sector, probably he should be given inputs of biology, which may not be there. He has not studied. So probably those type of subjects to be introduced at the beginning, and those prerequisites should be done so that the student will have the feel that he has that background and he is going to have some engineering development with that background. So such type of areas to be identified, and that's those prerequisites to be added at the inputs. And even it is to be made compulsory. The projects should be done multidisciplinary, or it should be relevant to that particular area of that particular stream. So it caters to that particular. If at all, if I'm being introducing biology and I'm expecting biomedical electronics, then certain development, either software or hardware, should be in that field. The student should be given exposure to that project. So the
Combined.
entire combination should be given a thought.
Right.
So that type of syllabus drafting is an essential part. And if that the freedom given, probably that drafting and maybe a correlating from scratch to the finished product, it is possible.
We would like to request the organizations of UGC and AICT, please consider Sir's motivation, the things, revolutionary things, what he's suggesting. We would request these organizations to please consider them if you are listening to us. So now, when you tell that you want to revolutionize all these things, and also you told me about NEP 2020, the National Education Policy that has been revised. We are upgrading ourselves for the traditional methods of teachings, the traditional methods of courses that were being provided earlier. Are we moving too faster, or it is the need of our?
Actually, it's a need of hour because as I said, the technology is evolving and changing, and particularly in the software domain, if we talk about, there are lot many tools and the advanced software tools are available in the market. They are coming like any big way, and the artificial intelligence or the data science, cyber security, blockchain, drone technologies. I think these are the technologies will dominate a future, and for that, if at all those type of coding, software development, or maybe that type of teaching input, if it is not been provided to upgrade those skills or the knowledge, I think then it's just a monotonous. The student will learn, but the technology has changed in a different direction, and students are not prepared for that change in direction. So probably to have the changes which are happening fast, accordingly the syllabus curriculum to be need to be changed, and delivery should be also in that way. It should be
Delivery
fast.
is important.
Yeah.
Are we lacking in the delivery?
Yes, it is. It is there because uh, it's like still what resources to be used, how to be used, and what type of methodologies to be adopted for the fast changing
Right.
delivery and need.
Mm.
I think it's a big challenge in front of most of the faculties, and if at all they get a good solutions, I think then they will be coming out of this type of situation. But these are the challenges that if at all I want to upgrade myself, and if I want to teach something very new, appealing to the student, then those type of platforms I must understand, I must know where they are available and how I can deliver to them in my subject. So that way, it is the time for the student, the faculty, to search for those resources, then put his syllabus on that particular platform or that particular module, and deliver to the student. So it's a time consuming process at present. And if at all, uh, if the faculty gets these type of inputs, I think he will have the delivery faster.
Right. We are speaking about what delivery we can give. We also spoke about what is lacking, how we can revise things. After doing all these things, nowadays we can see there are so many graduates, so many engineers out there, but the unemployability ratio has drastically risen up in the recent decade. Why do you think this is happening? Is it because of the curriculum, the teaching, or certain attitude?
Actually, it's a combination of uh, particularly the curriculum and the attitude. The thing is, if at all your curriculum is older one, then probably it will not cater to the present need of the students and the technology. Provided the attitude, yes, attitude of the each everyone involved in this total education ecosystem. It's a attitude of a faculty, attitude of the student, even attitude of the parent, and even the industry, those who have been taking them students in as their employee. It's like particularly the if I want to focus, it's an attitude of the student. If he is not ready to accept the challenges, if he is not having the growth mindset,
Mm.
then probably he will lose its personal and its professional, what we can call as a life. Because with a growth mindset, if a student inculcates such type of mindset, he will be prepared to accept the challenges. He will be prepared himself for the failures. If the failures are there, he will prepare himself to come out of the failure, do things, and try to see that why the failure has happened and what the next avenue, so that I can flourish and I can give best of my ability. So these type of things is necessary to be inculcated, and it's an attitude matter. If I say I will not change, the things will happen to me, then it won't work for that student. Similarly, as I said, for the faculties, those who have been teaching in 90s or maybe in 2000, if they are not ready to accept the changes, accept the technology, and ready to take the new subjects as a challenge, then they will also be not been the part of the education ecosystem. Even the parents, if they don't listen, because nowadays the students are connected to the social media, they know what the society needs and what the technology is going around them. And if they want to tell the parents that I want to pursue some career in particular field,
Yes.
the parent should be also be aware
Yes.
that yes, that what that student is saying or that what is saying, that is that field exists,
Right.
then at least that parent should be enough to talk to the resources, maybe to the teachers, maybe to see known industry people around them, and knowing about the technologies and what their word is saying is true or false, and whether he is fit to that.
Correct.
If that total uh, awareness is among the parents, I think will also give a justice to the students' demand.
Yes.
And industry, yes, when the industry is selecting, and nowadays industries are very smart enough, they will not just go with a merit, but they will see the skills.
Skills.
And if they feel the student is having proper skills, having positive mindset, ready to accept challenges, ready to change, ready to upskill, reskill, and learn things, leadership, communication skills, I think industry will prefer than the merit. So nowadays happens that a merited student is not going to be selected, but if a person is having good skill, good communication command, having positive thinking, ability to do something good in creative mind, so I think industry needs such people, and if they find it, I think that's the way it will. So again, industry has to identify such skills among the student,
Correct.
not the merit.
Correct.
Merit is one aspect, but the skills are very essential. So industry has to also to be in tandem with all this ecosystem.
As you bring the point of skills, one point you said is communication skill. According to you, is communication skill necessary, especially for those who are from regional backgrounds or non-English backgrounds?
Absolutely, because see, ultimately, when you have been a part of any organization, any company, and they are having their products overseas, and I think the communication language is in English. So, particularly when you are going to discuss with your clients for your projects, so what the client is saying, whether you understand the client's say,
Right.
whether you have your say on that, so how better you communicate to that particular client, so that client will find yourself in confidence that the person to whom I am being discussing with for a project to get it developed from him,
Yes.
he is a proper person, communicates politely, knows the requirement, he has a good communication skill, he has a good habit of interacting with him, maybe on mail etiquettes, maybe on telephone. So
Right.
all that matters, because ultimately how you communicate with the other person, convince him your idea, listen to him, I think will matter. And for that, communication skills, interperson skills, intraperson skills are very very essentials.
Right. So, as per sir, I would like to inform, especially to all my viewers, communication skill is not in just term of language, but it comes under soft skill. And yes, soft skill is really, really necessary as of today. Right, sir? मी महाराष्ट्राची आहे, तुम्हीही महाराष्ट्राचे आहात आणि गर्व आहे आपल्याला महाराष्ट्रीयन
नक्कीच.
असण्याचा. तर माझा एक प्रश्न आहे, मला कधी-कधी राहून-राहून असं वाटतं, की माझे महाराष्ट्राचे बांधव किंवा आमचे जे विद्यार्थी आहेत, ते कुठेतरी काहीतरी स्किल्समध्ये लॅक करतात का खरंच? जर मला त्यांना नॅशनल किंवा ग्लोबल विद्यार्थ्यांसोबत कंपेअर करायचं असेल तर. तुमचं मत काय यावर?
मराठीत मी त्याचं उत्तर देतो, कारण
नक्की.
आपण महाराष्ट्राचा विषय काढलाय म्हणून
100%
मला नक्कीच त्याच्यावरती आवडेल. खरं म्हटलं तर आपली महाराष्ट्रातली मुलं तर खूपच हुशार आहेत, आणि आपण जर बघितलं तर भारताबाहेर मोठमोठ्या ऑर्गनायझेशन्समध्ये आपली महाराष्ट्रीयन मुलं ही लीडिंगमध्ये आहेत आणि मोठ्या-मोठ्या ऑर्गनायझेशनमध्ये वरच्या पोझिशनवरती आहेत. फक्त आपल्या महाराष्ट्राच्या मुलांचं एकच आहे, की ते कम्युनिकेशन, त्यांचे जे विचार आहेत ते पटकन मांडत नाहीत. त्यांना काय पाहिजे आहे ते
सांगता
चांगल्या
येत नाही.
शब्दात म्हणजे ते सांगू शकत नाहीत, किंबहुना ते एक्सप्रेसिव्ह नाहीत. हा एकच फक्त त्यांच्यामध्ये मे बी त्याला आपण शाय म्हणू शकतो, की मी बोलल्यानंतर माझ्या बोलण्याचा अर्थ काय काढतील, मला हे समजून घेतील की नाही,
राईट.
का ह्याच्यावरती काही वेगळ्या पद्धतीने ते मला या मानसिकतेमध्ये ते त्यांना जे प्रश्न पडतात ते विचारायचं विसरून जातात, किंबहुना त्यांचे प्रश्न हे त्यांच्यापाशीच राहतात. माझं या सर्व मुलांना सांगणं आहे, की तुम्ही खुल्या मनाने तुम्हाला जे वाटतं ते तुमच्या भाषेत, आपल्या मातृभाषेत सांगायचा प्रयत्न करा. कारण त्यांनी तुम्ही जास्त तुमच्या भावना समोरच्याला पोहोचवू शकता. तुमचं म्हणणं तुम्ही क्लिअर करू शकता. त्याच्यामध्ये कुठलाही लँग्वेजचा बॅरियर असता कामा नये.
बरोबर.
जर मी मराठी आहे, मी महाराष्ट्रीयन आहे, तर मी मराठीमध्ये माझं जर भावना पोहोचवल्या, तर ते अत्यंत योग्य आहे आणि ते तसं करणं अपेक्षित आहे. प्रत्येक वेळेलाच तुम्ही त्या टाईपच्या लँग्वेजला जायला पाहिजे अशाची गरज नाही. काही वेळेला तुम्ही पोलाइटली तुमच्या भाषेमध्ये जर तुम्ही सांगितलंत, तर समोरचा माणूसही त्या पद्धतीने कन्विन्स होतो आणि आ, तुमच्या शंका या मोकळेपणाने विचारत चला. कुठल्याही प्रकारच्या मनामध्ये आडी ठेवून किंवा खूप काही प्रश्न मनामध्ये ठेवून आपल्याला जे विचार येते ते विचारायचं सोडून देतो आणि ते प्रश्न अनुत्तरित राहतात. या पद्धतीची थोडीशी मानसिकता मराठी मुलांच्यामध्ये आहे. ती जर त्यांनी जर थोडी कमी केली तर खूप चांगल्या गोष्टी त्यांच्यामध्ये आहेत आणि स्किलमध्ये ते कुठेही कमी नाहीत. इनफॅक्ट ते खूप जास्त चांगलं काम करू शकतात आणि त्या
नक्कीच,
चांगलेच
नक्कीच.
आहेत.
Sir, you being from the electronics and telecommunication educational background, as I told in the introduction, you have done your MS, your ME in the same field. In this world of AI, IoT, and quantum computing, what is the suggestion you would give to the students of electronics and telecommunications to, uh, as for their career, to stay focused and be relevant in the current trend?
Okay, as the branch suggests, like maybe electronics and telecommunication, I will ask the students that though they are from the stream, provided IoT and embedded they go hand in hand
Right.
because it's an internet on things, and I think embedded system is a part of it. But provided as it has been the technology advancement in every field, artificial intelligence has been there. So whatever may be the IoT applications or whatever may be the quantum computing, probably the AI is an inherent part of it. So my suggestions for the students is while getting a knowledge of electronics and telecommunication, whatever core knowledge you are getting, along with that, if at all you want to have some software skills, maybe you learn Python programming and you must have uh, an overview or maybe how AI can be deployed in the electronics field, particularly in the IoT and maybe in a quantum computing, where it is a sort of software in an advanced way.
Mhm.
So for that purpose, AI is must because what I understood, maybe it is a quantum computing. There are certain repetitive tasks, and
Right.
in such repetitive tasks, AI will be more powerful.
Right.
So knowing the ability of AI and maybe future development in AI, the student should learn AI along with the core and try to have small projects in integration with normal electronics with AI, and maybe they will be ready for themselves in the field of electronics with AI enable background for that particular matter.
Right. How can AI be helpful for embedded systems?
Actually, whatever may be the repetitive task you expect that embedded system should do in any particular application, then the programming of that particular you can have with AI. So the AI capabilities or the Gen AI capabilities, repetitive task of that embedded system can be handled by AI. So if you can have a collaborative or the integrated approach of programming with embedded environment with an AI, I think it will help you to get easily the repetitive task from that embedded system. So that's the way the student should focus.
Right.
Provided they should know the architecture also because it also matters how the hardware and software go hand in hand.
Correct.
So probably the compatibility is one of the challenge which my students will come across. But ultimately, when such type of challenges students face, they will come to some solution. So my advice will be, whatever repetitive task of embedded system,
Mhm.
in that repetitive task you can deploy an AI.
Okay. Um, Apart from your regular leadership, administration, your professional life, what is that one thing that keeps you inspired?
Actually, the students' enthusiasm. I have seen a lot of enthusiasm among the youth and the students, and uh, they are very curious. When I used to interact with first-year students, or maybe I'm interacting with final-year students, the curiosity is at it's a high. Uh, Probably at first year level they are more curious. Probably their curiousness has been catered slowly through the second year, third year, and final year. But probably curiosity and enthusiasm of the students keep me say active in this particular position. And my role as a director, my role as an academician, should encourage their curiosity, to support to their creativity, curiosity, as well as updation of the knowledge. So for that purpose, I think that keeps me active in my role.
That's a lovely thing that you are giving the credit to your beloved students.
Naturally. Because if I'm being a teacher, then probably it is because of my students only I'm
Of
being a teacher.
course, of course. What is the legacy that you would like to leave behind in with the help of this journey for your students, for the institution, as in a whole? Think, if I have to think, what is that one legacy you would like to leave behind?
Actually, whatever you have your plan in your life, or what you want to be in the life, do it with full of dedication, honesty, and ethics. I
Great.
think these are the things always you remember, and see that you are going to represent a society. You are to be part of uh, this particular great country and great nation. So, with that context, your projection in that society as a citizen of this country should be proper, and that's why I particularly feel whatever you plan, whatever you want to be, you should have a dedication, hard work, and honesty or ethics to be followed.
Being honest and ethic
Ethics is the most
really,
important. Yeah,
really matters.
yeah,
Viewers, please note this. Being honest and being ethical is what is required to grow in your life,
yeah.
right? Who has been your influence or a mentor for this more than 30 years of your journey as expertise into this education sector?
If at all I look back to my career and what I'm presently today, I think it's unfair that I will just name one, but two, three things are there which really bring me to this level. One is definitely my parents, and specifically my father, because he is being an engineer at that time, in the olden time, and he used to say anything you want to achieve in a life, hardship is most important. And what I am just carrying, hardship and the legacy of the ethics, I think I have learned from him. Provided as a teacher, when I grow as a teacher, definitely my two teachers, I have seen them. They used to come in the class fully prepared, no notes in hand, nothing, only just in that context, they used to have a chalk and duster in their hand, and they used to start from yesterday's, right from last sentence, they immediately start. So they are fully prepared, and any naughty or any question, naughty or maybe relevant, they are ready to answer to those questions. I think that's the way the teacher should be prepared, that you should prepare thoroughly, and you should not require any references. Be extempore in the class, and you are controlling the class, and you are in a position to solve the queries,
Right.
maybe the relevant one or maybe naughty one. I think that's the second thing which I learned from my those two great teachers. And the third one, I think the organization where I being, which is an Pune Vidyarthigara, is 116 years old legacy, and whatever their founders, they are laid a very solid foundation of this organization. and uh, through them I learn like how you have to cater the society, how you will be benefit to the society, particularly for the poor deserving people, how you can best possible uplift them by your way of actions, and how best you can be an administrator. So I think that I learned from those 2 3 points. So my parents, the my teachers, and my organization are the three main, I will say, the things which makes me to this level. And of course I should not forget my students, because every time they used to interact with me,
Right.
give me the suggestions, give their valuable feedbacks, which makes me updated every time. And I think I love to interact with my students. So I think what presently I am being at this position is a fusion of all those four things.
Let me come to the summary of this today's session. I have read about you. You were being appreciated, certified from Cambridge University for your research work. You were part of Global Summit also recently. What is that one piece of advice that you would give to your students, the youth of today?
I think the student should have a focused mind and should have a plan of their career. Let they should have their formal education to be completed first, and along with the formal education, whatever their career plan, supporting to that, added skills or added knowledge they should gain with different resources, maybe some online workshops, seminars, webinars, or maybe interacting with the technical experts in the field, and make their CV strong, so that they will be employable. It should not be like they should go to the industry. By seeing your CV, the industry will call you that you are the credential, your credentials are useful for us.
Right.
I think that's the way you should prepare yourself throughout your student life, and that's the way you should work. So while doing this, definitely again, I will put the way in which I being nurtured, particularly the hard work, honesty, and ethics. Don't forget this thing, and you will be successful in your life.
Great, great. So, to all my viewers, what Sir has given us a message to all the young students, his students, the youth, as he says, upgrade yourself, stay updated, and be honest and ethical. Thank you so much, sir, to
Thank you.
coming down and having this podcast with us. We look forward to have one more episode with you in future. Thank
Yes.
you again.
Thank you. Thank you. I love to interact with my students and all the youth. My best wishes to all the youth, and do best and be successful in your life. Thank you.
Thank you. Sir.